So, Griggy, first of all, thank you for joining me. So, you were the top scorer in the 2017-18 season, so the FA Cup definitely means something to you. Just talk to me about your memories with the FA Cup and what it means.
Thanks for that. It's the FA Cup's always been special. I think as a child, sort of growing up, it's always had that magic about it, and then it was a sort of privilege to obviously play in it, and it's nice to have some great memories throughout it. I've scored some good goals during it and had some nice runs. So I think obviously for the lower league teams as well, it's something that's really special.
Most memorably, Wigan was the FA Cup. That's probably, I imagine, the time in your career where the FA Cup stands out the most. So just talk to me about your time at Wigan in terms of the FA Cup and highlight some of the best memories there. Obviously, I know the Man City thing's going to come up straight away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, obviously, I'll go into the start of that. It was a bit of a strange one. We were sort of similar to ourselves this year. We were really concentrating on the league. That was the priority no matter what. And then I think we got filed away on Friday night live on Sky, and we managed to draw that, which was fun. And then we had the return leg at our place, made a few changes, and then I think I came on at half time because we were struggling a little bit and managed to score two, and we won that game. And then it was almost from there, it was sort of see where it takes us. And then we obviously got some good games. Then we had West Ham after that, which I scored two in just to drop that in. But no, we just had a really good season. It just kept coming, and then obviously the Man City game, which is obviously one of my sort of career highlights, and obviously one of my favourite goals. So that season was definitely something special. But it just shows you where the FA Cup can take you.
Yeah, what was it like to play and beat Manchester City, which, let's be fair, I know they're on a bad run at the minute, but not many teams over the years have managed to do it. So little old Wigan Athletic and Grigg scoring against them must have been pretty special. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. They were going for the quadruple at the time, obviously probably the best team in the world at the time, if you could say that. Paul Cook was the manager. I think we got the draw, and we were sort of excited, but a little bit, this is going to be a tough night. So fair play to the gaffer and all the staff. They came up with a game plan of sort of, he was very realistic in terms of they weren't going to make loads of changes, and it was going to be a tough night for us, but we would give it absolutely everything. So the game plan was sort of 20 to 30 minutes. We were going to just go full press, have a 10 minutes where we just went for it, see what we got out of it. And I think after 20 minutes we sort of looked at the clock. It was probably 19, sort of coming on to 20. Looked over at the gaffer and he just started laughing at us. To be honest, it was pretty much just like shaking his head, saying all the best, lads. Because we got the team sheet. It was the full works: Aguero, John Stones, Laporte. It was Sane. I think at the time it was a really strong team. And then I think I had a chance actually in the first half after about 15 minutes, and hit the side netting, and I didn't touch the ball after that, I don't think, for about another 70 minutes. So it was I just remember thinking throughout the whole game, just thinking about that moment. We had sort of a pivotal moment just before half time where Dav got sent off, and it gave us a little bit of life. I remember coming in at half time, the boys were a little bit excited just because it was 0-0. We smelt a little bit of blood in them, and then went out for the second half full of life, and before you know it, we'd not touched the ball again for another 20 minutes. So they just took the life out of you in terms of the possession and stuff. And then obviously when I got my chance, I think it was close to the 80th minute, it was it was a bit of an out of body experience. I remember just going through and thinking, I had to get my shot off as quick as possible, and it was an unbelievable feeling.
You've made 34 FA Cup appearances over your career. If you had to pick your top 3 games, I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but what would your top 3 FA Cup games be over your career so far? I'm guessing Manchester City will be a number 1. Yeah, sorry,
Man City will definitely be number 1. But then I remember Bournemouth away as well. We actually got a replay out of that. I think Bournemouth doing really, really well at the time, sort of having a really good time in the Premier League, and it was we went 1-0 up quite early on and played some really good stuff. We felt like we should have won the game. I think we were 1-0 up, 1-1, and then 2-1 up again. And we fully felt on the day that we were probably the better side, but the quality they had just came through, and we got a replay out of that, and obviously managed to beat them at home, which was lovely. And then the third, probably West Ham, which was the similar Wigan year. Just they played a really strong side, Joe Hart in goal, and managed to score 2 in that. So I think obviously it's difficult not to mention the Premier League teams. I think it's you've got some really good ties. Thinking about ours, obviously at Watford away was incredible. Just seeing the fans and the support they gave us. It was it was a difficult one to take, not to get the win that day.
And you average just over 1 goal in every 3 games in the FA Cup over your career. And to be fair, because it's obviously a competition that only comes around once a year, and you might not necessarily play so many games in the FA Cup, it's very easy to bring that down into sort of 1 in 2 over the next few years. So I imagine that's something you'd be looking to do. And are you happy with that goal return?
Yeah, I think we've got to be pleased with that. Like I said, the type of teams you play as well obviously helps that, or makes it more difficult. But yeah, the FA Cup's unbelievable. It's nice to sort of have a stat like that. Yeah, like you said, if I can get a few more goals and bring that down, that'd be excellent.
Exeter this weekend, it's a really pretty disgusting trip, isn't it? I think it's over 5 hours to get to Exeter from Chesterfield, so not a nice one. But what are you sort of viewing the game as? Yeah,
logistically not ideal. I think you're looking through the draw, and you're obviously desperate for a home tie. That's what you want, but you want a good calibre of team as well. It's one of those you sort of weigh up. Do you want a lower team and hope that you can win the tie, or do you want to test yourself against the better teams in the draw? So yeah, it's a really good game. Obviously coming up against the previous manager as well in Gary Caldwell, which will be nice to see some familiar faces. But yeah, we're expecting a really tough game. They're doing well this year. They've got some really exciting players, and it'll be a massive challenge for us. But one that the boys are really excited about, and we'll be going there wanting to win the game.
And you've scored 12 FA Cup goals over your career. What would you like to finish on? Would you like to hit that 15 number, or are you sort of aiming even more than that?
Yeah, you know me in targets. I don't like to give too much away, but yeah, 15 before the end of my career. I like to think I've still got a few years left in me. So yeah, 15 would be great to hit as soon as possible and see where that takes me.
And I know we're sort of jumping the gun here a little bit, but let's just take away the fact that if we beat Exeter, or if we lose or draw or whatever it is, who would your dream tie be in the FA Cup now? If all the Premier League sides were in, whether it's this year or next year, who would your dream tie be and why?
It's a good question. I've been really lucky to play against the biggest. Man City away, Man United away. I've done Man City at home. So yeah, without talking about Man City all the time, Man City away at the Etihad, Arsenal away would be great for me, I think. But also Birmingham away. I was a Birmingham fan growing up. I know that's not probably what you're expecting, but I've been a Birmingham fan growing up, and for whatever reason, when I've been in the Champ, I've been injured or missed the game. So yeah, I'd love to go to St Andrews and play there. So if I had to pick 2 right now, yeah, it'd be Arsenal away or Birmingham away.
And I know the Spartak fans will be kicking me if I don't ask this. So what about Mansfield away? What would it mean to you to sort of, again, you've not had the chance to play, and to be fair, not many players over the last few years have had the chance to play in the Mansfield-Chesterfield derby, so is that one that you'll be keeping your eye out on, whether it's this year or next year? Yeah, definitely.
The fans always let us know about that and keep us on our toes, and yeah, I think it's got to happen one day, hasn't it? We hope so. Yeah, I feel like if that came up, we'd be really excited. The boys would be really pleased with that. So yeah, it'd be a great one for the fans, great one for everyone involved with the club. So yeah, we'll try and get this one out of the way at the weekend, and if we can deliver that'd be great.
Just finally from me, just to finish on a nice positive note, what's your message to the, don't know how many supporters yet, but I'm assuming a couple of hundred making that one long trip to Exeter on Saturday? Yeah, well, I mean, fair play to you. If you do make it, it's unbelievable. But I think we've spoken about the support so much. We really appreciate it. It's been unbelievable. Going back to Watford as well was a really special day, and we'll do everything we can to try and give you something to cheer about.